Jarrod Beck. I'm an artist from the United States, and I currently live in Brooklyn, but I'm in Caracas, Venezuela this fall, doing a project at the UCV. I started this project over a year ago and have been thinking about it a lot and doing a lot of research based on photographs and texts and things that have been written about the project. Villanueva, in the 50s, when he was thinking about this project, it was a different Venezuela. It was a different country, but still a country like all countries in the world that was not running as smoothly as one would hope ideally. But I think that Villanueva gave a kind of a platform for that time and for the future. I believe that, kind of using spaces, using the university as a place to, kind of create, to think about how people with different visions can come together into a group and make something together and take that into public and create a situation and come back. I think that those are important parts. So I think that this project doesn't deal specifically with the political situation here, but I hope that it's meant to talk more about how we can make change, how we can kind of come together, how we can be active. This week, the students and I have kind of gone through a range of activities. The first, we started at La Casona and looked at Villanueva's original plans. We looked at specifically the drawings that he made, we looked at the drawings that his team made of the artworks that were to be created on campus. Finally be here is so exciting and overwhelming. I mean, there's just a bevy of information. Right now, what the space is used for is an archive. We're seeing some of the storage of drawings behind me. There's a few different kind of strategies for preserving the works, and it's a place where a few people can kind of come and study the drawings. Part of this process was dealing with a stack of material that was kind of considered trash. We didn't know what was even maybe in that pile, and then having to kind of make those pieces kind of fit into the initial idea. Then we came back to the School of Architecture and we went through the task of blowing those drawings up to full scale and laying them out on the floors of the architecture school. We wanted to build those lines into the third dimension, so we looked for material, and there's a large pile of discarded material in one of the hallways of the school, and one of the initial things we did was to kind of excavate material out of that pile and start to, kind of create a material vocabulary for the lines. Over a day and a half, we kind of solved a lot of problems, figured out ways to connect these materials, and each group built 5 of the artworks on campus. There were 5 groups, and each group took one of the pieces of art on campus to kind of inspire their construction. That idea that we can make lines on a piece of paper, like an architect will do, and extrude those lines into real space. That we can draw something with our own hand, and that translates into a three-dimensional experience. So this is kind of a larger scale version of that practice, right? The students have taken the drawings that exist at this scale, they've blown them up to full scale, which is not as easy as it sounds. And so the architecture school, this site that we've been using to work, kind of is the drafting table.
Buscar materiales, desarrollarlo, ingeniárnoslas para ver cómo iban a ir cada uno de estos y cómo cada uno de estos materiales iban creando, iban componiendo una cosa y obteniendo cada uno de ellos este resultado. De cierto modo, cargar la pieza, trabajarla, llevarla, trasladarla, yo creo que fue como terminar de acoplarnos con ella.
Me pareció muy bien el trabajar con la basura y tratar de hacer unos murales que para la Universidad Central de Venezuela son muy queridos por todo el mundo.
A big part of this project for me is that the students have been able to spend a lot of time with these murals that they've noticed before, but now they have a little bit more ownership of them. They've studied those lines, they've tried to recreate those lines, and they've been doing that kind of abstractly here, and now they get to go to the site and kind of see them in relationship. For the last day of the project, we took those pieces out of the school and walked through campus, did a procession to each artwork.
Listening is our access to understanding.
We're going to basically visit each artwork at its site. We're going to hold up the lines that we've created in relationship to the artwork. And then after doing that, we're going to kind of culminate at an area of campus called No Man's Land. And we're going to show basically each of the artworks in succession. In No Man's Land, and then we'll walk back to campus, walk back to the architecture school, and we'll install the works in the gallery for the final exhibition.
El hecho de caminar con unas piezas de la obra en nuestros hombros y pasear por la ciudad universitaria, lograr que las personas se preguntaran qué era lo que estábamos haciendo, que nos preguntaran a nosotros qué es eso, qué hacen. Es una experiencia nueva y muy interesante. También fue divertido y es así como que, bueno, estamos mostrando lo que hemos hecho y qué mejor lugar que la ciudad universitaria que pasear por ella y mostrar las obras a donde pertenecen, a la obra original.
Villanueva, I think, had originally asked for Calder to do a piece outside, and they kind of in talking, Calder was challenged Villanueva to see if he could put the clouds inside the theater, which kind of gave this campus one of the most original Calders in the world. It's the only one like it.
parte favorita mía en este proyecto fue el performance, porque fue como la conclusión de todas las decisiones que se tomaron durante el proceso.
So this is my last day in Caracas, working on this phase of the Balance project. It's been very eventful, and I'm a little tired, but extremely excited about what we got done. And today's been a great day. We're kind of in the gallery after last night's festivities, and we are just kind of taking a quiet afternoon to kind of just recollect, kind of share stories about what we did here. And we can look at things with a new eye and say not that is a situation that will always be, but maybe that's a situation that, you know, we can change if we work together.
Todo el proyecto como tal, la manera en que se desarrolló fue muy interesante porque era un poco misterioso, no teníamos muy claro al principio de qué se trataba exactamente el proyecto y fuimos como que descubriendo a medida que íbamos trabajando.
También ver las obras, las líneas, junto al mural, que se viera que de verdad es el mismo mural y hecho de otra forma, es muy interesante y muy precioso.
Me complace mucho haber podido participar, colaborar, conocer a Jarrod y a todas estas personas con las que estuvimos compartiendo estos días. Trabajar en equipo realmente es una labor que tenemos que intentar más.
You know, this kind of moment is another one of the reasons why I do projects like this. It's so exciting. I like to exhaust people. I like to give them a task that, makes them question why they keep coming back, why they're like spending all their working hours doing this project. Because I think within exhaustion, we can find elation. And I think that's what we're feeling at this moment. It's really exciting. Everyone should just party because we worked hard and now we play hard.
now that this is, kind of the end of this part of the project, I've been thinking about how to carry these ideas further. I've met some fantastic people here, both as my collaborators and, I've met my collaborators here, students and otherwise. And I'm kind of looking now into the future at some other projects that I have cooking in my head and hope to involve some of those students in these future projects. There's materials. I'm really excited by it, that there's things here that I didn't envision, and I'm kind of inspired by a lot of the ways these kind of materials went together. And I'm really looking forward to getting back to my studio and kind of continuing my work and making the next project.